All right, everybody. So we'll go over the markets in a second, but before that, I wanted to give a lesson on some indicators, right? The principle behind the indicators, right? So we know that when you have a tape or a chart, the key elements of supply and demand are price, volume, and time. All right. Now, when we consider price and time, from this we derive momentum. It's called momentum. And then volume relative to time also has, I don't know what to call it, but I just don't know what to call it. Just call it volume, or I don't know what to call it. All right. Now, from this, there are two key principles that come about. From momentum, we get that momentum precedes price. So I'll just call it momentum precedes price. All right. MPP, momentum precedes price. The idea here is that momentum slows down before price turns. Again, momentum slows down before price turns. And what that means is, when price is doing this, momentum will do that. And that leads us to how this thing is manifested. Which one was this? Right? And how it manifests is divergences. What I did. 1 second. Boy. Missed something. Anyway, so this manifests in divergences. All right. And this is making a lower high, this is making a higher high. So again, from the elements of supply and demand, we take price and time, we derive momentum. From momentum, we derive a principle. That principle is momentum precedes price. And from that principle, we see a behavior, which is divergences. Okay? Now that doesn't mean every divergence works. You need to know how to do this. Right, which means there are other things that come into play, obviously, but this is the main idea, and this is a real principle. This is true. You'll see in many turns that you have divergences. The next steps on how to create a system based on this is not what I'm covering. All right. Now, regarding volume, this is something else. This is no, we'll just call it volume precedes price as well. All right, VPP. All right. So your volume, your principle, volume precedes price. But how this manifests is very interesting. Because what happens is, let's say you have price doing this, volume, when it's cumulative, it does the breakout. So basically, when we say volume precedes price, the behavior here is volume breaks out prior to price. Just put VBO. So again, for momentum precedes price. Momentum precedes price, manifests as diversions. And volume precedes price, that manifests as volume breaks out prior to price. So if you see volume-based indicators, this is what they're looking for. They're looking for volume to break out before price. And the principle here is volume precedes price. So why I'm mentioning this is because if you're using any indicators, that take a look at either 14 bars or 20 bars or whatever, based on what they are they price and time based indicators like RSI and all that, then you're looking for divergences, and the volume or volume and price based indicators, then you're looking for volume based breakouts preceding price, along with divergences if it's both a volume and a price based indicator. So these are the two key behaviors that you need to know on the indicators. All right, it's very, very important, because there's some belief that it's more complicated than this, but it really isn't. This is the key underlying price and time momentum based indicators or volume based indicators or both. Okay, that's it. That really is it. All right, now we're done with that. Let's go to something else. I'm going to go over a natural gas study. All right, so this is nat gas today, and what I wanted to do was go over how this minor pullback occurred and why it occurred and underlying principles, which are most important. All right, so the first thing is we need to be able to clearly see supply and demand. Whatever it is that you do with your charts, you need to be able to identify and quantify supply and demand. All right, basically money moves the market, and you need to be able to see money moving the market and identify and quantify it. That's required. Otherwise, it becomes a guessing game. So what I saw was price going ding, 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 bang, right here. So this is, in terms of volume, is the biggest in over 99 red bars right here. So this is supply. This is supply, no question. This is supply. So supply is in. All right. So why? Because this is money on the short side. So it's the likelihood of a pullback occurring on a retest is very, very high. Even if the market is strong, the chances are it's going to retest this area and pull back some. All right, so that's a no-brainer. So this is too much selling pressure for it to just go straight up and not care, because volume came in and it was able to push price. Volume able to push price. Biggest range in 52 bars. So volume came in, selling came in, and pushed price. It shows that yes, supply is successful. If it wasn't able to push price, there'd be a different story, but it is able to push price. Now pay attention to this. As price goes back to retest that area, what's very, very interesting is what happens here in this area right here. This is very interesting. Why do I say that? Because just like the red selling volume was able to push price, right? You see red, push price down, boom, right there. On the test, volume on the upside did come in, but was it able to push price? Was this volume here, was this money here able to push price? It was not able to push price. That's a big problem. So that is because of these sellers that sold here. They're selling into the retest. So the buyers are there trying to buy, and the volume is there, but they keep getting stuck. So sellers able to push price, buyers in this area unable to push price, as indicated by the lack of the gray bar being very small, and then the red bar after that is able to go down. Less volume, more price movement, ease of movement to the downside. It gets retested and it goes down. See that? So this selling pressure, this effort, this more ease of movement test can go down. How does this look? Let's find out. This is how it looks. Selling pressure. Ding, 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 ding here. A lot of effort. Selling creates a down move. It's not a great big down move. That's because the market's in an uptrend. But it's a move nonetheless. Right? And these are the key principles of supply and demand. Meaning this is supply and this is supply. Supply is on increasing volume and widening spread on the downside, and increased volume and lack of spread on the upside. This is also supply. These are the two definitions of supply. On the downside, big price, big volume. On the upside, big volume, small price. Both are by definition supply. That's all. Take care. Bye.